Just like last year, I'm going to share my top 5 K-pop music videos of the year. So, you know what that means. If you want K-pop or any music genre to be elevated into a realm of art rather than that of just simple consumerism, then you have to make room for criticism. Critical analysis of media and art is not inherently punching down negativity. When done correctly, it's a focused discussion on aspects that make up a whole piece. It's exceptionally bizarre to think that people need to like everything and that art, especially one so driven by a consumer market, deserves a positive reaction just for existing. That is our hurtful mindset towards K-pop. Artistic merit doesn't reside within output. It resides within audience perception. We decide. Now, I'm not going to be extremely critical or anything. This is, after all, a celebration of the music videos I loved this year. This is just my traditionally long-winded way of saying that this is a list I have made for me to reflect my thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and it makes sense that your favorite music videos of the year may not be on my list. Fret not, though. You can take the initiative to put time and energy into making your own video. I encourage it. Share with me. That said, let's move on to number 5. On You, Dice. Yes, I am a die-hard Shiny World fan. Yes, I am an MVP. On You is my bias, and I can't act like that's not carrying a large part of this decision. Up front, I think there are better music videos this year, but I also really do just love this music video, so it's here. Again, it's my list. Dice is eclectic and strange. Like On You. On You is an odd man. Don't get me wrong, I like Onion. But he's a funky dude, and I don't think any of us really knew what to expect with Dice, and once it was released, we kinda still didn't. As such, for me at least, as a very invested fan, Dice was in a lot of ways a relief. Just to break the K-pop veil for a moment, I was ready, as fans are to do, to love and support something bad. But it wasn't. It wasn't bad, so yay! Dice is a very fun and colorful music video. It has a youthful weekends, kids block, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider vibe going on, and honestly would potentially be a little too twee for me if it was for anyone other than On You, who we have established is a weirdo. Dice has a tight production and is, in my opinion, very well edited, but I also think the biggest appeal rests on You himself. Something I feel On You doesn't always get a lot of credit for is his ability to sell. On You has always been rather good at adapting to whatever is being asked of him. Being a true performer is one of his biggest strengths. You can style him in anything and he will do what he is told to do because he takes direction well. That's a positive ability. You can tell all throughout Dice that On You knows exactly what kind of video he is in, and he plays to his strengths when expressing the concept and furthering the narrative. On You sells the quirky weirdness without a hint of self-doubt or irony, which makes everything very charming and creates an experience that truly feels as though it couldn't be pulled off by anyone else. Okay, I've done my duty to keep my schwal card, so moving on.
Love like a rolling dice. 내 이름은 슈퍼 그럼요.
Wuju Sonia, or Cosmic Girls, Chokom Subunit, Super Yuppers. Out the gate, I need to be brutally honest. I am an absolute mark for everything about this music video. I am a Maho Shoujo weirdo, I love synth pop, I love a goofy girl group vid, I'm obsessed with product placement inside MVs. Possibly the only reason Super Yuppers is in 4th place and not 1st place is I have purposefully decided to nerf it because I want more for myself. I want to give other 2022 music videos a real chance. Super Yuppers is essentially a song about a girl who can't say no.
I'm just a girl who can't say no.
But the visuals save the song from a potentially creepy fate, turning it away from subservient womanhood undertones and into being about being a superhero for life's minutia. They'll always say yes to listening to your problems and rushing to do a favor and want nothing in return but a smile for righting injustice. Small injustices that they can actually right. The low-stake, relatable issues these magical girls take on is, I feel, important to successfully subverting the song. The song Super Yuppers is simple and nothing to really write home about. Overreaching the concept would have made everything feel really disingenuous and even crass. Outside of being a cute, catchy, and endearing concept, Super Yuppers is to me a great example of effective editing. Like with most K-pop, the bulk of the music video is match-cutting choreography in different locations, and even with that dope Pepsi Lay's money, they're still working with budget go-tos like Youngmaland and parking garages. What's clever is the soundstage sets the music video utilizes are multi-purpose. The gas station is also the hallway, which is also set for other in-between scenes shot at different angles. The girls' rooms for their individual segments is also the Pepsi room. Another clever production decision is the liberal use of the color blue, which is present and consistent in almost every set, so when the editor jump cuts around, things still feel tied together, with our eyes working for the edit. And finally, choosing to embrace some vaporware green screen gives enough variety to sprinkle in between for these things to generally be unnoticeable, unless you've watched this music video a lot, which I have. I love it so much. I admire music videos and media in general that makes clever use of their budget. The crunch between Vision and Capital has produced a lot of my favorite things, and Super Yuppers is another one of those special gems.
슬그머니 해질 때 등 뒤에서 널 안을게 You're so fine, you're so fine 괜찮아, 괜찮아
Kangta, Slow Dance. Slow Dance is a rare music video for me where the visuals match the song perfectly. As far as this year goes, Slow Dance isn't even my favorite Kangta song. That'd be Eyes on You. But something about this music video is hypnotic. Slow Dance presents this interesting mise-en-scene of a party. It's not showing the narrative of a real party, but rather the glamorous idea of one. This is a party that is outside of Kangta's song. We are shown Kangta sing before this party starts, and he is ignored for a time. Then his song starts to move into the space as a performance. Eventually, his singing affects everyone, including the staff, which I see as his song breaking through into finally being present within the space of the party. And then the party ends. But Kangta is still singing because his song is outside of the mise-en-scene. It's a simple but effective means of expressing a concept. One moment can be many moments within memory, and vice versa. The song Slow Dance is deeply romantic and focuses on two people, you guessed it, slow dancing. dancing can also mean something else here, which is also part of what I like about the song. The way it's presented, though, especially paired with these visuals, slow dance is either about one long dance or many separate dances making up a memory. And when it comes to a relationship, that is kind of how things get categorized in our minds. Kangta's singing is outside of the party we're shown, although briefly becoming a part of it because his song is his memory. Maybe that's why the woman returns at the end. Maybe Kangta is recalling the memory once more. Again, it's a simple but effective music video, one that flows so well, and letting it play out is enjoyable. It's not asking anything from the viewer. It doesn't want anything from us other than to share a moment, which is, in my opinion, a mature marker of media, especially so perhaps within K-pop.
블루지한 고요 속 대사 하나 없이도 겹쳐지는 눈빛에 어느새 또 하나가 돼 마지막한 음악에 나와 춤을 춰 느릿하게 더 우린 내게 안겨 아무 생각마다 나와 춤을 춰 느릿하게 더 나와 춤을 춰
Sunmi Heartburn. I once read Sunmi's music described as sad magic pop, and that's really stuck with me. That simple classification encapsulates what it is I personally find so alluring about a lot of Sunmi's work. It also helps that I am far more a visual person than I am anything else, and Sunmi has been, for years, putting out consistently interesting music videos. Like a lot of the music that tends to stick with me, I don't think Heartburn is initially that strong of a song. In many ways, it is the definition of easy summer listening, but again, a lot of my favorite music is often overlooked due to having easy vibes and their potential juxtaposition to being in the background of other events or more intensive works, which is what it is. But there are a lot of people like me who enjoy what could be described as the deceptive nature breezy, easy tunes oftentimes employ. Heartburn is certainly such a song, but what really impresses me is how the song on its own and then the song accompanied by the visuals of this music video creates two differing experiences. Heartburn is a song about a woman comparing the emotion of love to a fever and literal heartburn, which I should maybe point out are uncomfortable things. Having heartburn or a fever isn't an unsurvivable occurrence. They are common universal experiences, typically viewed as annoyances. As covered though, the tone of the song doesn't present love as such, but therein lies perhaps the purpose of the easygoing nature of it. This love reaches a fever pitch, certainly, but it is not presented musically as anything but simple, easy, and enjoyable. Now, if you haven't seen the Heartburn music video in full yet, you should totally go do that. Okay, so the music video shows Sunmi as some kind of siren or succubus or gumino. It isn't actually important, and we know it isn't important because it is never explicitly explained and nothing suffers from that lack of explanation. It can be a hard lesson for some folks, but that is in fact how art works. Things can make sense without being stated. Making sense without being explained is basically one of the theological axes in which all artistic mediums rotate as a shared human experience. Anyway, the point is, Sunmi keeps killing dudes. If she kisses a man, then he going down. The song Heartburn on its own focuses on the feelings of the singer, treating love as a common slight discomfort. The song with these images focuses on the feelings of the singer, treating love as a common slight discomfort, because when the singer gives in to easing the annoyance of attraction and love, they leave a trail of bodies. That's an incredibly interesting asterisk tacked on to a fairly forgettable vibey summer bop. This is an amazing music video. Heartburn to me is a great example of what music videos as an art form, and MVs are an artistic medium, guys. We should view them as such. Heartburn is an amazing example of the unique qualities music videos can bring to experiencing music. In my opinion, good music videos present a song. Great music videos express a song, and expressing a song can be done in so many ways visually. There is no right or wrong approach when working towards the visualization of music, which is what music videos are. The inner understanding music conjures up within anyone listening to music is inherently abstract until given form. I'm working up to something, I promise. I love the Heartburn music video because watching the song has been purposefully crafted as its own unique experience. This music video gives the audience a varying experience from that of just listening, and yes, that is ultimately what every music video does and is a defining aspect of the medium's form, but where the majority of music videos purposefully still position themselves into the realms of the abstract, final products not seeking to express what a song is or is not, but rather to present a visual accompaniment for music, Sunmi's Heartburn commits entirely to being its own separate experience. And I think that's really cool. On to number 1. I assume everything I just praised Heartburn for is fresh in your mind, right? Good, because I'm about to praise the completely opposite type of approach to making a music video.
어둠마저 눈부시게 유력이 널 따르니 stop 한 발 더
A-Pink subunit Chobum, Copycat. Remember when I said things making sense without being explained is one of the theological axes in which all artistic mediums rotate as a shared human experience? Yeah, that's working overtime on this one. By all accounts, not much of A-Pink subunit Chobum's Copycat makes a whole lot of sense. The song itself is pretty fast and loose in meaning, and then the song is not really paired with the images we're given for the music video, as in the images don't help explain anything. Copycat is one of those abstract final products not aiming to express what a song is or is not, but is seeking to present a visual accompaniment for music. It's just a really freaking good one. Things start to make more sense when you realize that the imagery is actively avoiding trying to explain the song. The song itself seems much more interested in being about how things are sung than what is being said. The music video copies this in being more interested in showing shape, color, and texture than sequential images meant to explain the song, or even the video's own small simple narrative of mannequin twins? Trapped in a video game? It doesn't matter. And again, we know it doesn't matter because Copycat makes no effort to explain anything, and that doesn't stop it from being an absolute riot of a time. There is a lot to defend about abstract art and its many, many offshoots. The big one, of course, is how non-representational art in general often gets the "I could do that" or "my 5-year-old should submit a piece" treatment, because such decriers assume there can be no value in art if technical prowess cannot be immediately judged. which boils down to a rather sad notion along the lines of, if a painting of a tree doesn't look like a tree, how can I tell this person's a good artist? And of course, that line of thought is subtextually tied to, if I can't tell if an artist is good, then I can't decide the art's capitalistic worth. What was I talking about? Oh, copycat. Copycat relies entirely on abstract presentation, which typically relies on audience intuition and then interpretation. If that's what someone wants to do, it is optional. That's the strength of non-representational, non-objective art. Color, symmetry, asymmetry, pattern, texture, likeness to nature, originality, etc., whatever, can exist for the sake of existing, for the sake of being pleasing or upsetting or any one of many things. Non-representational arrangement can of course convey concepts, ideas, and feelings, just not usually anything overly specific, or at least are not expected to be understood as such. This is why abstract art, through its unique tools, variety in shape, non-linearity, light, and color, are the perfect expressive qualities for music videos, of which music videos have latched onto literally all the time. Abstract presentation is typically the bread and butter of any given music video. What's compelling to me about Copycat, much like with Sunmi's Heartburn, is that it's a music video that seems to be fully realized and entirely committed to doing its own thing. Just instead of being a separate or secondary experience to the song, Copycat feels like an attempt to power fuse melody to imagery. If a painter wants you to recognize a tree, then they will paint in some way that will represent a tree, right? If Copycat wanted to explain that Chorong and Bomi are cats or mannequins or people trapped in a video game who have been turned into cat mannequins or whatever, then Copycat could have explained that in some way or form. But it doesn't. And why should it? There is merit in wanting to arrange shape and color and texture and patterns. There is merit in witnessing abstract arrangements on music, life, and emotions. There is merit in finding amusement and joy in words, sounds, falling together in a pleasing manner. Not to be like an asshole or anything, but a lot of us K-pop fans don't even speak Korean. A huge chunk of my enjoyment of K-pop already revolves around the ability to enjoy sounds falling together in a pleasing manner, as I cannot inherently understand lyrical context on my own most of the time anyway. Aesthetically successful art comes in as many variables as there are human thought, and I will actively fight anyone who wants to try and tell me something has to make sense to be good, or that I need to make sense of art to understand it. No one can outright explain Copycat because, as previously discussed, it doesn't want to be understood in that way. I have cultivated a deep fondness for this music video over the last 5 months entirely because it is not directly discernible. Indirectly, however, Copycat makes sense in exactly the same way that most art does. It wants to be what it is, and that is what we are shown, and the images represent the song. That's it. Inherently, everybody already understands that. It's just sometimes folks maybe want more than what something has been made to give. To my sensibilities, Copycat is an incredibly successful merger of imagery to sound. This is such a pleasing music video. It is so visually balanced and kinetically interesting. So much went into arranging color and visual texture. It tickles my brain just right and tricks me into feeling as though these images are a naturally occurring aspect of the song. And that's amazing! I loved realizing that is how I felt. And that emotion is why it's my number one.
Honey, what's your time? 지금 널 카피 그래 유감이 너를 닮은 길이라고